Opus, which is the feature debut from Mark Anthony Green. It's a psychological chiller with echoes of The Menu and more recently Blink Twice. So Ayo Edebiri, who is so brilliant in The Bear, is Ariel. She's a wannabe writer at a hit publication. She wants to write something, important. But her best friend tells her, well, the problem is you've got no life experience. You had a perfectly fine childhood. You're from sort of middle of the road everything. Your writing is middling. And then her editor, Stan, sees her basically as an assistant until she is one of a select group of journos, along with her editor, who is invited to hear the new album by Alfred Moretti, who is a pop star who has been silent for decades and has now come out of that self-imposed silence. Here's a clip.
There's a rumor flying around that Moretti's back. Like, Moretti?
After 30 years outside the public eye, pop icon Moretti returns for an exclusive listening experience.
He's bringing you a gift.
This is for Ariel Ecton.
It'll be an absolute honor to spend this weekend with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, namaste. Everybody meet Ariel, some young blood from the magazine. This is Clara, the most hated sex symbol on TV.
Thank you. How's print media treating you?
Congratulations, and welcome to this once-in-a-lifetime gathering.
Moretti requires that everyone be shaven. So, how's the lady garden?
Mr. Moretti, we'll be playing the greatest album of modern times. Future times, all the times, really. And there is more to come. So much more.
What is it that you guys do?
Would you like to see?
The crowd is upset. Upset that I'm not on stage.
Is this not alarming to you?
The back row's asleep. But the front row's ready to rage.
Are you sure you haven't been drinking with us?
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
So, a hint of the tone. Anyway, so they all basically get flown and then bust off to this really remote compound to meet Moretti, played by, of course, John Malkovich. Because if you were going to cast, this incredibly famous pop star, John Malkovich, and you think, okay, well, that's preposterous, but Ralph Fiennes was doing the chef in The Menu, so John Malkovich is the pop star. So they're flown there, and Juliette Lewis, you heard in that clip, as the most hated sex symbol on TV. And then there's another guy who apparently had some beef with Moretti, and then there's a paparazzi there. And anyway, the compound is basically a cult. It's got these disciples, and they're all into this leveling religion, this weird religion, the only ritual of which appears to be in which they have to sit in a hut and shuck oysters, oysters, clams, looking for pearls. And this apparently is a thing that teaches them all that everything is on the level, that the moments of success are, the same as the hours of failure, something like that. But the whole thing is a bit weird. There are kids there and they do happy, smiley art classes. It's a bit like the Stepford Wives version of the Manson family. And then they get to hear the new album, which he premieres in much the same way that Ray Fiennes' character premieres his dishes in The Menu. And then things start to turn nasty. Now, before the film started, there's a colleague of mine, and I said, I'm looking forward to this. And she said, oh, really? Have you seen the reviews? And I said, well, no, I haven't. She said, the reviews are not good. And which I didn't know because I hadn't read any reviews. And then I sat there and watched the film, having partly been warned, okay, it's not very good. And actually, I kind of enjoyed it. Now, it is possible that I enjoyed it more because I had been told just before, the response is that it's not very good. The central question is whether or not you can buy the idea of John Malkovich as the biggest pop star on the planet. And, it's helped by the fact that Nile Rodgers and the Dream are doing the music. So, okay, so when they're doing these kind of supposed dance bangers, they actually have got some proper pedigree behind them. And there's this one scene in which he's playing the album and he's sort of dancing and prancing around the journalists in this manner that is utterly preposterous. But kind of maybe that's the point, because the thing is, Malkovich is utterly preposterous, as he himself demonstrated he understood in Being John Malkovich, in which he sort of, laughs at the idea of Malkovich. I once went to see John Malkovich on stage in a production in the West End. I think, was it Burn This? And I walked out because I couldn't hear a word he was saying. I was up in one of the balconies and he was just looking at the floor and mumbling, and I could just see the top of his head. And it was like, this is ridiculous. So I left. But he is ludicrous and ridiculous and also very, very talented. But in a way, the kind of thing is, you either buy this idea or you just think this is the most preposterously stupid thing he's ever done. I bought it. I think the reason it works, however, is that Ayo Edebiri is so completely believable as this wannabe rock writer who just suddenly finds herself in this absolutely bonkers situation. It's got a nice sting in the tail, in the terms of the way it does it's really what it's about is there's no such thing as bad publicity, and manipulation happens in a lot of different ways. It's not for everyone, and clearly some people have just looked at it and gone, okay, this is just silly, and it's not The Menu and it's not Blink Twice. But I confess that I enjoyed it, as I said, perhaps influenced by the fact that I was told just before it started that it wasn't any good. So it kind of immediately started outstripping my expectations. And I thought the Malkovich thing it is utterly, utterly, utterly preposterous. But maybe that's the point.